Okay, y'all. So on another note, I have, well, I don't know, you know how to start it out. So, this time of year, I'm very hesitant about dropping customers, right? I don't want to drop no customers this time of year. I don't want to do anything. Don't want to make no moves on that front until we figure out who's going to naturally drop us, organically drop us, or whatever. So, the HOA that I was doing last year, where I had some problems with them paying me on time and stuff, they're not going to use me this year. I don't know what they're going to do. So the management company emailed me and said that the management company's actually losing them as well. So I don't know if they're gonna, I don't see how anybody could maintain that that HOA for any cheaper than I am. I don't see how they, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, but I don't really see anybody doing it any cheaper. So yeah, but see, when you got that third party management company involved, you never know exactly what's going to transpire or what cut they're getting out of the work you're doing, right? Like if I'm charging, we'll say $600 a cut or $550 a cut, the management company might be telling them, $700 a cut, right? And then the management company write me a check for $500 or whatever. Because it seems to me, now I don't know, it seems to me that the management company would tack on a little bit for that. I mean, I might be wrong. I might not really know how everything works, but that's business. I know that, and that's how things go. So I lost it, and it's the one right down the road from my house. Well, I've lost it thus far. Now, they may think they can get somebody cheaper. They may think they can get somebody better. They may think, who knows, right? I don't know. But, yeah. So, I was supposed to have a 2-year contract with them, and they only did 1 year. They don't want to renew. So, but our deal was kind of going in was, hey, if you'll do it for $550 a cut this year, then next year we'll give you $600 a cut, right? Because I came in at $600 a cut. Since it was so close to my house, it's, I got all the mowers, the overhead is minimal, blah, 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 blah. I decided to go on and do it for the $550 with anticipating this year. But the contract I had with them was only for 1 year. Our verbal contract was for 2 years, 2 seasons. And it just shows you that, well, you better get your money while you can, is what it shows you, really. I don't think they're going to be able to find anybody to do all of that cheaper than I was doing it. Certainly not with the capabilities that I have, unless you got some part-timer that's going to do it. But a part-timer would be hard to make money at it, because you got to have full-time equipment. You ain't going to go in there with, one lawnmower and make money at the number that I was making money at. We have 3 lawnmowers on it. It still take us 4 hours. So, and at the end of the day, the $550, even $600 is cheap. So anyway, so I lost that one as of right now. I've gained a couple of residentials I haven't really talked about. I got one residential where they moved, and he moved, and somebody else bought the house. They referred me, and that the new owners called me, and wants to continue on with the service. So I tell the guy, you know, I didn't really want to continue doing that property because of the layout of the property, the location of the property, and the mere fact that we have to Pushmo the back. I don't want to take on no more pushing jobs. But that was before I found out about the HOA letting me go. So now I got to hold my horses and say, okay, you might better hold off before you go to voluntarily dropping people, because you don't know who's going to drop you. And you got to make sure that you got enough work to justify what it takes to go. I'm just saying. So that's why I don't never, you know, off the top of my head, drop customers at this point in the season. I have to kind of get a feel for who's going to come back and all that, and how many new ones am I going to get, and you know, that kind of thing. But that's just you know, just in my experience out here, that is, you know, a factor, right? You don't want to, you know, from season to season, to me, ideally, you want to keep the same customers as long as you're making money, and their routing and density is friendly. And I have really gotten good at the route density part of it. And that HOA that I lost, that was really a big piece of my density improvement. So, I mean, it's okay. But the other one where the customers called me, you know, I was going to drop that one for sure. And I gotta say, based on everything, if everything stays the same as it is right this moment, even though I lost that one, I'm still gonna drop it. I don't want to take on any properties that's gonna require me to push the backyard if I don't have to. I just don't. I don't like that property. I don't like that neighborhood. I don't like, there's no place to park. The backyard holds water. So the guy's trying, I'm telling the new owner, hey, I'm not going to be able to do it. He's like, oh man, I really want you to do it. You know, the other owner really raved about you and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it. So I talked to him for a minute, and he kind of had me thinking, you know, well, he doesn't want to do it every week like the other guy did. So that's every 2 weeks. So we were discussing things, and I'm still was you know, I done backed up down, and then I was on the fence about dropping it, you know. And then when he said he wanted it weekly, I was like, man, you know, I might, you know, I broke week. I might be able to do it. I ain't sure, but I might be able to do it. Then he comes at me with this, because the other guy owner told him how much I was charging. So he said, and he's actively begging me to keep it on the schedule, right? I mean, he's called me for days, and I was trying to figure out exactly what I was going to do. So then he comes at me and he says, so you were charging, we'll say Chad, the other owner, you were charging him $80 a cut, and he was doing it every week. And I said, yeah, and he did mulch too, which is about $1,100 a year, every year. He says, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. And then he said, well, do you think that you could do it for $70 every 2 weeks? I mean, the mentality there tells me that I don't want to work for this new owner, and I'm not. I'm going to tell him. I kind of lost my composure just a little bit in my head, and you know, when he didn't want to pay the $80, but begging me to keep doing it. He didn't want to do the mulch, but begging me to take $10 less than what I've been taking for 7 years that I've been doing the property. I told him, nah, I wasn't gonna do it I can't do it for less than 80. You know. And if I can't do the mulch, then then I'm not even entertaining doing it. So he said, well, you think that we could do the mulch for like $700, and then do the regular yard maintenance every 2 weeks for $70 instead of $80. And I'm like, I ain't gonna do it for $70. So he's like, okay. You know, he was pushing me to see what he could get away with, you know. And see, I don't like customers like that. I don't like customers that need me more than I need them, because that yard is a pain in the butt. And I'm the only one that's ever cut that grass over there since the house was built. So, and then he wants me to, I done told him I was returning a call to him, a courtesy call to him, to tell him that y'all gonna have to find somebody else, and I'm not gonna be able to do that property no more. And that's what I was calling him for. And then he spun it all the way around, got me to now I didn't fully commit, got me to semi-commit, I'll see what I can do, you know, to cutting it every 2 weeks. And then he tries to throw in a $400 short on the mulch, and then a $10 short on the bi-weekly cutting. So it's safe to say that I'm not going to work for them. So I'm going to drop that one. But you're going to have customers like that all the time, man. And, you know, sometimes you got to roll the dice. I don't like dropping customers this time of year, but when I got out of, you know, all the yards that I do, I got like 2 that require a push mower. Man, if I can get rid of them 2 and not catch no more push mowing jobs, excuse me, I'll make more money. Push mowing ain't happening. I mean, there ain't no money in push mowing. There ain't, not unless you got a freaking walk behind, you know, 48 inch or something. And you know, I'm just not gonna, I'm not signing up for push mowing nothing, not nothing. So just some things I'm seeing as I'm going into the off season, and I know there's going to be more. You got to expect this, so you can't be shocked. Like a lot of people, and you know, I ain't happy about it, but a lot of people might be just crushed to lose $1,000, $1,100 a month customer. I am pretty, I don't want to say crushed, but in the beginning days, I would have been just crushed and would have been like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But see, I don't even get like that no more, man. I'm immune to all that, right? I am. You can't get too deep in your head when you hear bad news from customers and things like that. There's going to be more that I lose. I guarantee it. Hopefully, there's more that I gain than I lose. Now, I don't see me gaining $1,000 a month customer, not one, but I may gain that in other, you know, in other work, because it did take 3 guys about 3.5 to 4 hours to do that HOA. And I'm not opposed to doing it, you know, when they run into hassles, because there ain't many people. There's some, but there ain't many people in my area that can actually cut those, I don't know, 10 acres or so, and make money at it at the number that they're trying to spend. The HOAs and landlords and all that, they always think that they can get a better number. Always. That ain't even something that's up for debate with them. They always think that. Never fails. So, and you know, and you know, a lot of landscapers will you know, say yeah, I'll do it, you know, and for $400, and then actually not be able to actually do it for that and make money at it. At the end of the day, if I can't make money at it, then it'd be hard for somebody else to make money at it. But in my area, you know, I know there's people a lot better than me, but the bigger outfits than me, they charge a lot of money because they have a lot of expenses, right? They charge a lot. They, you know, are more expensive than me because they have a lot more overhead than me. I go down there with 2 guys and 3 paid for lawnmowers. You know, I can, you know, give each guy, you know, 120 bucks or whatever, and I'll still make $250, $300 in profit in one morning. And that's not a lot of money though, see. But, you know, especially to a big outfit, a bigger outfit where they got 6 guys on the truck, they're going to want a lot more money. And for a job like that, their quality's not going to be any better because it's just mowing. There's no flower beds, there's no bushes to trim, there's no nothing. It's mowing and picking up trash. So my thinking is either they got one of the homeowners there is affiliated with a landscaper business, or maybe one of the owners there wants to start doing it himself. But when you look at it and ride by it, yeah, it doesn't, yeah, you know. But when you're actually on that job, it's a big freaking job. It's spread out for 2 miles. So I doubt a solo guy. I mean, if a solo guy has sold them on him being able to do it cheaper than me, then they're naive as hell. Because I don't see that happening unless he's retired and just ain't got to make no money. Ain't trying to make no money, you know. But anyway, I got some stuff I got to do in the shop, and I'll get back to this, and we're gonna fix these carts I got in the shop today. We're gonna put a toolbox on this truck today. Yeah, we're pushing forward, man, pushing forward.